in exploring what it really means to be vegan. Now, listen, this is about a real conversation. We're going to have honest questions and maybe a few surprises along the way, but we are going to know and understand what vegan journey is all about. And guess what? I'm not doing this alone. I have someone truly special in the studio with me today. Someone who is all about the vegan lifestyle, who has been walking this walk and is here to guide us through the myths, the meals. She is going to be our guardian angel in the vegan journey. Let me welcome our guest, our vegan educator, our vegan advocate, all-round plant-powered powerhouse, Mrs. Joy Monk. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing, Mom?
I'm very well. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
It's so good to have you here. I'm excited to learn a lot. And I'm sure as you're listening, you're curious, what is vegan journey? What is it going to be about? And trust me when I say that Mrs. Joy is going to be educating, enlightening, and opening your eyes to what vegan journey is all about. So you're going to do that, right?
Definitely. That's why I'm here.
Okay, and I'll have you know that Ms. Joy is a vegan advocate from Nigeria. She is the CEO of Vegan Journey Advocacy and one of Nigeria's first female vegan advocate. Wow, that is awesome. And her passion towards veganism is driven by the ideology that a vegan populated world can lead to a peaceful planet. She is a strong advocate for plant-based diet and recipes for combating the spread of diseases which are caused by a carnivore diet. She is a UN certified agent on sustainable diet and a certified vegan nutritionist. She is a lot of things. She is a powerhouse, and you just by this introduction, I'm sure that you're convinced that she is the right voice you are going to be listening to. But before we dive right in, Mrs. Joy, can you quickly tell our listeners what your vegan journey has been like?
My vegan journey has been wonderful. I come from a very spiritual background that has to do with practicing vegetarianism. I have heard everything about vegetarianism. I have read books. However, in my religion, you are not forced to practice this lifestyle. But then I got even deeper into it when I started writing for a popular magazine. I wouldn't want to call names.
Okay.
I started writing on plant-based diet. I was doing just research to write. And then I started finding out a whole lot of things. And then it excelled when I started watching documentaries and going deeper into research. I found out that it was just time for me to do the needful and to get into advocacy, to educate people about what they're missing. So that was how I started, and so far it has been wonderful. It's been adventurous and it has been impactful mostly.
You heard it from our vegan guardian angel. That is what her journey has been like. So without further ado, let us get right into the vegan journey proper. It's going to be a process. It's going to be a gradual series of unfolding many layers of what the vegan lifestyle is all about. So to begin with, how would you define veganism?
Okay, let me define this in my own way, how I see it. Veganism is a philosophy. It is also a switch in lifestyle that excludes all forms of animal exploitation. Like I said, all forms of animal exploitation. This has to do with you're using animals for fashion, you're using them for entertainment, you're using them for consumption, meat and dairy products, you're using them for laboratory research. All of this, veganism frowns at all of this. So this is how I would define veganism. And a whole lot of people practice veganism in different ways. Some are very, very extreme. I mean, if we're talking veganism, I know it's strange to people, but then you need to see people practicing. People are even raw vegans. Yeah, we've got the raw vegans, those that actually do not eat cooked meals at all. So they just do juicing, they eat fruits, and they eat vegetables, but they eat raw. They don't cook
They
their
eat
fruits.
the vegetables raw.
Yes.
They don't cook it.
Yeah, so we call them the raw vegan. So if someone is hearing about veganism and feels it's extreme, wait until you see people taking it extreme, because I feel like they started somewhere and they see how beneficial it is to their body and decided to take it one step ahead. Of course, after they've become very comfortable with the lifestyle, because it's a gradual process, especially in a world where the mindset in the food and nutrition industry is a carnivory mindset. So it's going to take a process to unlearn that. Yeah.
Okay. Just to shed more light on what you said, I want to understand more. So I want you to place veganism and carnivorism side by side.
Okay.
Yes, I want you to explain the difference.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd like to put it like this. If you're on a carnivory diet, you're consuming everything that comes with that diet. Let me break it down. When we eat meat, any form of meat, these animals have their characteristics. And then we often hear people say, oh, when you eat meat, you have lots of protein. You have this, you have that. We talk of the nutritional side. But the Indians will call it a caloric side. That's like what you gain from something, right? We gain other things aside the nutritional factors. Like you're eating meat, you're having protein, it makes you strong.
Yeah.
Need I remind us that these meats were living creatures. They had characters. They've gone through different process. They have habits. And when you eat this, you inherit whatever you eat. So we only talk about the food aspect. Oh, okay, you're having nutrition, you're having protein. But then you when you eat meat, you eat the pain. When the meat is being slaughtered, there is a whole lot that happens through that process. You're eating that as well. And we often hear people say, we humans say, oh, once this animal is dead, I can't eat it. It's a dead food. I mean, they kill these things before you eat it, so they die anyway. And in that process, some of these animals are already having cancers. They're having wounds. If you go to the marketplace, you've seen where they sell meat. There are some of them with cancers, that's wounds on them. You see the traders cutting off these parts and selling it anyway. And I like to say this, we don't care. We just want to consume meat. And we feel after we boil, that's all, like no germs and everything.
Sanctified.
Yes. So that's the aspect of a carnivory diet. And I'd like to say meat is a quick fix. Yes.
What do you mean by that?
It's a quick fix, like if say you're lacking protein.
Yes.
Because I know that's the word. Every time people see animals protein.
Yeah, it's protein.
Yeah. You're lacking protein. So when you eat meat, it gives you the quick fix. And when you have that, you get the nutrition that you need.
Yeah.
However, there is something that it is going to give you in return that everyone doesn't look into that. So you eat meat, then at the end of the day you have bad cholesterol. You eat meat and then your arteries are blocked. And this practice is over time. Now that is on the carnivory diet. Let me come to a plant-based diet. The same thing I said about meat diets. When you eat meat, you eat the pain, you eat the anger, you eat the aggression.
You mentioned we inherit characters.
Yes.
I would want to get to know more about what you mean by we inherit
the characteristics
of
this. Like if you notice, there are some animals, especially I noticed that with cows, they have spasm. You see one part of their legs shaking. Yeah.
Okay.
And these are the characteristics that comes when you start having heart-related diseases. When your arteries are blocked, your blood's not flowing properly, you start having those symptoms, and then you ask yourself, where is this coming from? So why would you want to dwell on a diet that gives you nutrition, yeah? And then at the end of the day, well, in the long run, you start suffering for all kinds of diseases. No one screens meat before killing them. We just consume. So this is the caloric side, or this is what comes. This is the other aspect that comes with consumption of meat or dairy products.
Okay.
So let me go to the plant-based. When you eat plants, plant-based has nothing to do with cruelty. There is no murder involved. As peaceful as it is, even the digestion process is seamless. Research and even your doctors will tell you plants foods actually help digestion, aids digestion. Some people call it appetizer. That okay, that's when you eat fruits, then your stomach opens for you to eat.
Yeah.
So these foods are naturally, I want to put it, they are naturally our habitat. This is how we're supposed to eat in the first place. And then on the meat diet, you find that when you eat, you struggle. Digestion starts from the mouth. You struggle to even, sometimes we don't even finish chewing the food, we just swallow. And even if you're doing that with a plant or a fruit, fruits are most times soft, except for some of the dry fruit. And the process is seamless. You don't feel heavy after eating fruits. You even feel lighter. So they are both different. They represent everything they stand for. The way you see fruits, how edible they are, that's how it is.
Okay.
So when you eat fruits and vegetables, they are less processed food. Meat is processed food, either you like it or not, because you either grill, you fry, you boil to get it conducive for you to consume.
Okay.
So when you say we're supposed to have, many people say, oh, we're supposed to be on a heavy meat diet. Why don't we eat it raw?